Hello and welcome to Hillel's annual benefit and happy hour honoring our founders Larry and Norma Rappaport. Snaps all around. My name is Micah and I am a UC Davis and Hillel alum, class of 2019. Go Aggies. And I'm so excited to be your host this evening. Cue the music. Cue the music. Oh. I'm being told there's no music. Yeah, okay. We spent all the music money on that salad that's like at every Jewish function with the cucumbers and the tomato. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Rachel. Thank you for joining us in this virtual space to celebrate our founders and the vital work Hillel has been doing for the past 56 years. Dang, Rachel, you're old. Nope. Although there have been many changes this year due to the pandemic, one thing remains constant. Hillel's commitment to serving the thousands of Jewish college students in the Davis and Sacramento region. Tonight, we will hear from Chancellor Gary May. Shout out to you, Gary, I miss you. Mayor Gloria Partida, Rabbi Mona Alfie, and several Hillel students and alumni, including myself. I will be here throughout the show, whether you want me here or not. And I want to thank each of you who make meaningful contributions to Hillel that helps create a welcoming, vibrant, and lasting Jewish community here. Whether you've given your time, resources, or wisdom to Hillel, we thank you genuinely for helping young Jewish people connect to their Jewish roots. I can share that I found my Jewish roots in a very meaningful way at Hillel during my time at Davis, and now I work for Berkeley Hillel, and I've stayed in the Hillel family, and it's because of my time here at Davis. So thank you. And now it is my pleasure to welcome Hillel's board president, Simone Naftulin. Over to you, Simone.
Hello, I'm Simone Naftulin, president of the board of directors for the Hillel at Davis in Sacramento. On behalf of the board of directors and staff, it is my great pleasure to welcome you and thank you for joining us for Hillel's annual benefit and our first ever virtual happy hour honoring our founders, Larry and Norma Rappaport. Hillel's vibrant Jewish community continues to thrive due to the generosity, support, and partnership of individuals and organizations alike. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge and thank all of you. I'd like to thank the Rappaports, our sponsors, and the Life and Legacy Society members for your generosity and support. I'd like to thank the staff, student board, our interns, and the board of directors, with a special thank you to the development committee and the co-chairs of today's event, Shirley Rosenblum and Wendy Hoffman Blank. Thank you all for your leadership, generosity, and support. And to Chancellor May and the UC Davis faculty and administration, Bruce Palmer and Willie Recht, President and CEO of the Jewish Federation of the Sacramento region, the Jewish Community Federation of San Francisco, Senior Program Officer Danit Trau, Mike Singer and Pam Herman, President and Executive Director of the Jewish Community Foundation of the West, and our Campus Support Director, Michael Rabkin from Hillel International. Thank you all for your partnership and support. Last summer, Larry Rappaport celebrated his 92nd birthday. When I called to wish him a happy birthday, I said, Larry, 92 years old, such a beautiful age, and no insignificant number, because as we all know, 9 times 2 is 18, and 18 is high. Life. My wish for Larry was that every single day of being 92 would give him a reason to celebrate his wonderful life. And here we are today, celebrating not only Larry's life, but the wonderful legacy that Larry and Norma have created and the thousands of Jewish lives they have touched over the years. In the spirit of our virtual happy hour, I would like to make a toast. First, to Larry and Norma Rappaport. Thank you for your vision and dream of creating a true home away from home for the Jewish students here in Davis and Sacramento, and for helping to enrich the lives of the Jewish students so that they may enrich the lives of the Jewish people and the world. I'd also like to toast all of you who are joining us today. Thank you for your generosity and support, and for helping to make Larry and Norma's dream a reality. To life, l'chaim.
Thank you, Simone, for your warm welcome, and thank you for the immeasurable amount of time, energy, and hard work you've poured into our Hillel. Hi, everyone. My name is Rachel Darling, and I'm the Executive Director of the Hillel at Davis in Sacramento. A year ago, we could have never imagined what 2020 would bring, both in challenges and opportunities. While we look back on the last year, I couldn't help but reflect on how far Hillel has come since we were founded in 1965. Thanks to you, our dedicated Hillel supporters, we've seen our Hillel community grow as students seek safe spaces to explore their culture and faith. Our Hillel team is dedicated to providing vibrant, engaging programs and meaningful Jewish learning opportunities to thousands of college students in the Davis and Sacramento region. Over the past year, we hosted over 160 in-person and virtual events. We launched our Jewish and Israel Learning Fellowships, and we established the Hillel Alumni Network with over 180 members and counting. All of this could have never happened if it were not for the vision and leadership of our founders, Norma and Larry Rappaport. Several months ago, Simone and I asked Norma and Larry if we could honor them at our annual benefit. Norma took a long pause and said, "It's like we made a cake. You just mixed together eggs, flour, and water. For Hillel, all we did was add some water." After a few minutes of encouraging Norma and Larry to give us the pleasure of honoring them, they humbly agreed. Norma and Larry moved to Davis in 1956 when Larry accepted a position as a faculty member at UC Davis. While on a sabbatical trip to Israel, Larry became inspired to establish a Hillel for the Davis campus and began hosting students for Shabbat in his living room. As the Jewish student population grew, Larry started talking to several Jewish organizations in the Sacramento region to raise enough funds to purchase a small house located on 328 A Street. In 1965, the Rappaports officially founded the Hillel at Davis in Sacramento. Larry continued to serve as the founding director of Hillel from 1965 to 1970. Without the incredible vision and generosity of the Rappaports, Hillel would not be the home away from home it is today. Now it is my sincere pleasure to welcome our inspiring founders, Norma and Larry Rappaport. L'chaim.
I'm wondering, Dad, what first inspired you to start Hillel at Davis?
Created an atmosphere which invited students into our home.
Gave them a chance to meet each other.
That's right.
So what was it like having students come here to the house each week?
Scary. I enjoyed being on the campus as a professor, but also being in touch with the students. They came and they stayed, and they came back. And that was very nice. So we created an atmosphere for Jewish students to be with others, as well as and learn who the faculty were and more about the campus.
Oh, it was very, very delightful. It was really a pleasure because they're such nice kids and they really appreciated having a home to go to and to meet one another in a more intimate setting than classes. And they wouldn't have recognized who was a Jewish kid sitting next to them if they didn't meet outside the campus.
Can you describe a little bit about what a Sunday felt like here in the house?
It was very warm.
Yeah.
I think people relaxed. What they were like outside was one thing, but they were inside here in the house with friendly people, smiling, food on the table.
Bagels and cream cheese.
Bagels and cream cheese, that's right. And that was very important. You know, we laugh at that, it's a Jewish laugh. But in fact, they appreciated everything we did.
And for us, it gave us a chance to get to know
That's right.
students who became part of our lives and some of whom are still in our life.
What are some of your favorite memories?
I'm thinking of when we got the bungalow, when we finally got the bungalow on A Street. And there was a lot of refurbishing to be done. We had a lot of fun with painting parties and some of the folks from Sacramento who helped both with funding and with actual physical labor.
Yeah, who were some of those people? I remember Milt Levison. Who else?
Milt was very instrumental in our getting the bungalow, and then at the time Nate Rothberg was the executive director of the Federation, very helpful. But some of the people in the Sacramento community, like Sam Edelstein and Oscar Morvay and Lou Brodowski.
And then there were donations. You did a lot of work to scrounge up furnishings. You got somebody donated carpet. I remember the player piano that somebody donated.
Our kids were very much a part of this experience. You couldn't avoid it. It was
Sundays were at Hillel.
Yeah.
Very good experience for all of us.
Well, having a Hillel house established on the UC Davis campus was pretty momentous, wasn't it?
That's right.
And it was a way for more Jewish students to be attracted to the Davis campus
Exactly.
once they knew there was a Hillel on this campus.
Very proud of what we did.
What impact do you think Hillel has had on the Jewish community?
The students to have a place to
Yeah.
come when issues come up about anti-Semitism or about Israel.
We started with nothing, and over a period of time had developed a real functioning Jewish campus. I'm very proud of that.
What would you hope for Hillel?
I think that we continue our good work and to be sure that the students have places to go to.
Always food around,
Home.
always a home away from home.
That's right.
The next generation of Jewish leaders have a base from which to grow. And we've even had some Jewish romances.
We look forward to many more years of successful growth and participation on the campus and off.
Mazel tov on many, many years of dedicated, inspired leadership to launch this special, special place that has affected so many lives over the decades.
Wow. How touching was it to hear directly from Larry and Norma. Thank you both for all you do and have done. I can share briefly that during my time at Hillel, I worked a number of these benefits when they were in person, of course. And I remember being 19 as a young Corrette fellow, an intern working for Hillel at the time, and it was my job to shepherd guests into the elevator who didn't want to take the stairs. And I believe this was Larry who said this to me. We were in the elevator as we were going down to the bottom floor, and he turned to me and said, "If this thing stops, you know how to fix it?" And other than that being just a hilariously and quintessentially Jewish thing to say, and in that moment, it was also just a really wonderful example of Larry's humor and his wonderful nature as a great human being. So Larry, thanks again for being you. And now it's my distinct pleasure to tell you, as with any other Jewish function, to grab your glasses of Manischewitz. I hope you have wine better than Manischewitz, because we're about to hear some toasts. To start us off, let's hear from one of our former Hillel executive directors and current leader of Congregation B'nai Israel, Rabbi Mona Alfi. Oh, Manischewitz is terrible.
Hi, Larry and Norma. It's wonderful to be able to be part of an evening to honor you tonight. When I was thinking about the two of you and all of the work that you've done on behalf of the Jewish students of Davis and Sacramento, I was reminded of a story from the Talmud. It's a story about Honi the circle maker, or Honi the wise. We're told that one day, Honi was taking a walk down a road when he came upon an elderly man who was planting a tree. Honi asked the old man what type of tree it was, and the man said, "It's a carob tree." And Honi said, "How long does it take for that type of tree to bear fruit?" Man said, "It takes 70 years. And Honi said, "Old man, you'll never live that long enough to enjoy that fruit." And the man said, "I'm not planting this tree for me. I'm planting this tree for my children and my grandchildren. Just as there were trees when I came into the world, so too will I plant trees for my children and grandchildren." Honi kept walking along the way, and he stopped to have a bite to eat and then lay down and take a nap. He fell into a very deep sleep, because you see, Honi was the original Rip Van Winkle. And he woke up 70 years after he sat down to have that meal. When he woke up, he hadn't realized how long he had been asleep, and he started going back down the road that he had gone on and what he thought had been that morning. And he came across the same farm, but the tree had grown quite a bit. And there was a man who looked familiar, but still a little different, who was harvesting the fruit of the tree. Honey inquired if he had been the one who had planted the tree. And the man said, "Oh no, it was my grandfather who planted this tree." Norma and Larry, you are the type of people who plant trees, not for your own benefit, but for the benefit of others. You honor your own families and your parents and grandparents by the work that you have done on behalf of the Jewish community at this Hillel, and in turn, really, for the larger Jewish community, because so many students have gone through those doors and have gone on to be able to be part of their Jewish communities where they have gone and raised families and even sending their own kids back to that same Hillel. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being the ones who plant those trees and have the vision and the understanding that there are things that we do not for ourselves, but for all those who come after us. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Chancellor Gary May. On behalf of the University of California at Davis, I'm honored to send greetings to you today. It's a special occasion as we honor Larry and Norma Rappaport, who in 1965 founded the Hillel at Davis and Sacramento. 56 years later, their visionary leadership continues. I thank Larry for the important role he played at UC Davis. He served as the founding director of Hillel, while also teaching as a professor of plant sciences in the Department of Vegetable Crops. We're grateful to you, Larry, for inspiring and supporting so many of our students. Hillel at Davis in Sacramento is one of our university's closest partners in religious life. Through the Hillel House, Jewish students have an amazing place to call their home away from home. Thank you, Norma and Larry, for your continuing work to support Jewish life on university campuses and well beyond. I'm looking forward to partnering with Hillel at Davis and Sacramento in the days to come. I want to thank all of you for joining me in celebrating and raising a glass to honor Larry and Norma Rappaport and Hillel. L'chaim.
Hello, I'm Mayor Gloria Partida for the City of Davis, and I would like to add my congratulations to Larry and Norma Rappaport for being this year's honorees and founders of Hillel House Davis. The vision they had over 50 years ago of providing a space for young people to grow and share their culture has become an invaluable asset for students at UC Davis, Sacramento State, and the surrounding community colleges. This year in particular, when the need for connection was critical, Hillel House continued to provide services in a virtual format. Thank you, and Mazel Tov.
To the lovely and wonderful Norma and Larry, who through their generosity provided a Jewish home for someone who grew up and went to a public high school in Los Angeles that was 50% Jewish, but didn't know how Jewish she was until she came to Davis when there were a few other Jews. So, with fond memories of being in their living room with their children playing a concert for us, of Sunday lox and bagel breakfast when you had to import the lox and bagels from Sacramento, of developing her love of Israeli folk dancing in the tiny Hillel living room, and of learning the secret of the perfect fluffy matzo ball when Hillel offered Jewish cooking classes. For all this and more, I offer my love and my gratitude, L'chaim.
As the Kinderlach of Norma and Larry, we heard, saw, smelled, tasted, and touched bagels. And this was our initiation into the burgeoning of Hillel House. Every Sunday, our living room became the warm and inviting home of Jewish students connecting with each other. Our father Larry had a dream which he pursued with the keen support of Mom Norma to bring students together to root with each other Jewishly and build a Jewish home which they felt part of. At Hillel House, they could grow, learn, dream, celebrate the holidays, and be supported personally. It was our parents' warmth, wisdom, and true caring which brought them to our living room. Through Dad's and Mom's steadfast commitment to Hillel House, it has become the center it is today. As Dad said at the new building initiation, I never could have dreamed of this. So it is with great pride that we kids, Meryl, Debbie, and Craig, celebrate this day built on kavanah, resilience, and love. Mazel tov, Mom and Dad.
Mom and Dad, who knew what inviting a few students into the living room would lead to? You were always good about having company over, but I'm so glad you can see the fruit of your generosity of spirit and ideas come to fruition in this way. You are a model for many of us, and we love you so much. Mazel tov. Here's to your health, your creativity, your dedication, and your sense of community. Love you.
Congratulations, Mom and Dad. This is yet another example of the many amazing things you have done in your lives to impact people, change the world, and be magnificent role models to so many, including your family. I love you very, very much and wish you l'chaim.
Hi, and greetings from Claremont, California. I'm Schuster, and I was involved early in the history of the Hillel at UC Davis, and where I got to have an enormously important opportunity for me, but more importantly, meet Larry and Norma Rappaport and become part of that family. It was a key place for me as an unsophisticated young freshman starting at UC Davis. And the most important part of it was meeting Larry and Norma at UC Davis, becoming involved and working to build the Hillel as it began. Larry and Norma were enormously open and friendly and kind and welcoming to me and offered me guidance. I had the opportunity to work for Larry in his laboratory, which was a formative experience for me. And it was a time where I could explore, learn about science, change my direction, and it really set me off in a direction that guided the rest of my life. But most importantly, I got to be a member of the Rappaport family. And this was absolutely crucial for me, especially at that time, and become deeply involved in Hillel as it provided me with not just the bagels and lox on Sunday, but the social structure and social fabric and interactions that were so important to a young student at UC Davis, especially in those days. It was truly wonderful to be welcomed by Larry and Norma. They not only welcomed me into the family, and I got to meet Craig, who was very, very young, and I could throw him around in those days, and Debbie and Merrill, but even more importantly, they taught me by example about what it was like to love and accept people and have empathy. This was not something deeply in my background, and I thank them for this and will for the rest of my life. I know I fail at achieving the goals that they set, and I fail often, but it's not because I didn't know what they are. Larry and Norma showed me that. They showed me that, and Hillel was an enormously important piece of it. I also think it's important to note that there has never been a time where something like Hillel is important to young students. Our students are craving interaction, meeting each other, being with each other, being in a social situation where they can relax, get to know each other, and explore new and outlandish ideas even. Hillel is that place. So I think it's a wonderful opportunity to celebrate what Larry and Norma and the Rappaport family have meant for all of us, and support Hillel and support the Rappaports, and at this time to say thank you to all of that. I hold these all in the highest regard, l'chaim.
Excuse me. Sorry. Hi. Hi there. Wow, Shelley, your Hillel story is really amazing. Next up, we'll hear from several Hillel students and alumni about the many ways Hillel has impacted their life. And I can share briefly that as an alum and a proud one of Hillel at Davis in Sacramento, I can tell you that my job currently as the engagement associate at Berkeley Hillel, I would not be able to perform my daily tasks, coordinating a lot of the community service and social justice programming, as well as managing the organization's engagement strategy. I wouldn't be able to do those things without the skills that I learned as an intern and as an involved student leader at Hillel at Davis. It is a perfect platform to train really important skills that are immediately useful in the quote-unquote real world. And I'm forever grateful for my time at Hillel. And I know the people who are going to speak in just a moment feel the same way.
Hi everyone, my name is Jules Lopez and I just graduated from UC Davis in spring of 2020. And for me, and I'm sure for many, many other people, the past 4 years, Hillel has been like a second home to me. And I know for a fact that Tall had a really, really, really big part in that for me. And so, hi Tall, I miss you so, so, so much. I just wanted to say that you've had such a huge impact on my life within the 2 years that I've known you and been with you at Davis. In my Jewish experience, you've been such an amazing mentor, always there to answer questions and broaden my horizon whenever it comes to anything about Judaism or Israel in general. And I could not have had like a better person to go to Israel with and to learn from in Israel for my very first time. Like, I'm forever thankful, and those memories that I have being in Israel with you, like, I will last a lifetime. But also, I feel like for us, you were just like my best bud in Davis. I spent every single day in your office talking about my life and everything that was happening, and I don't think you understand how thankful I am that you were always there to help me with whether it was in my personal life or school life, always, always, always there supporting me, but also giving me a kick in the butt when I needed it. And so for that, I'm forever thankful. And anyone is so, so, so lucky to have you in their life. And so, I love you, Tall.
Hi, my name's Libby. I'm a current intern, the campus engagement intern for Hillel, and I'm super excited today to be speaking about the Hillel's annual benefit and just telling you guys a little bit about why I love Hillel and how it's really helped me during these crazy times during COVID. Personally, for me, it's made me feel at home and it's given me another family. I mean, the people are absolutely incredible, whether that be the internship team that I'm working with, or even just the people I see day to day at Hillel through virtual events such as Tuesday lunches or Shabbats. Honestly, the group and the culture and everything about Hillel has really made me feel at home. It's provided me a family when my family, being from the East Coast, is millions of miles away. So for me, to be honest, Hillel has given me a place to feel at home. And, that's one reason why I really decided to participate in Hillel this year, especially becoming an intern, was because of that. It's not just a group of people that, are just there to get you to go to Hillel. It's a group of people that want you to be there because they want to grow with you. As a family, as people interested in their Jewish history, their Jewish background, and their Jewish culture. And it's honestly quite beautiful. For me personally, I've been able to even grow in multiple facets, whether that be through campus engagement, with meeting with multiple different people and really expanding my knowledge, or through teaching others in yoga that I do once a month. So honestly, for me, Hillel's been a beautiful community that I've really been able to grow and become enriched in. And I think it's so beautiful that we're able to have such a fantastic group on campus. So thank you for all of you guys who have come to the benefit, all of you guys who have donated and have continued to participate. It's really keeping the spirit of Hillel alive. And thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.
Growing up, when asked, "Are you Jewish?" I didn't think I checked all the boxes that had to be met to identify as truly Jewish. Coming to college, the role that Judaism would play was not something I thought about. I grew up in a secular home where my Jewish identity consisted around celebrating holidays with my small immediate family. I was introduced to Hillel my first week at UC Davis, but I didn't feel like I belonged at first. Traditions were being followed that I didn't know the meanings of, let alone knew existed, and phrases were being said in Hebrew that I didn't understand. Simply put, I didn't feel like I belonged. I didn't feel Jewish enough. But there was something about the community that kept pulling me back to want to stay late after Shabbat and help clean up, or come on my free time to study at the cafe. While sometimes more socializing than studying, regardless, I found a space at Hillel to ask questions that stimulated the growth and exploration of my Jewish identity. Thanks to the Jewish community, Hillel staff and interns, it didn't take long for me to feel comfortable to come to Hillel alone. It's this transition that I was so fortunate to experience that motivated me to become an intern and start the Russian Jewish Speaking Club, to now being the president of the Hillel Student Board. Hillel continues to play an integral part in my college experience, and it is trying times like these where I rely heavily on my family, and I'm grateful that Hillel at Davis and Sacramento is part of that family that I can lean on and support. I will forever be grateful for the lifelong relationships I have developed at Hillel and the space it has provided me to establish and grow my Russian Jewish identity. But most of all, thank you for showing and teaching me that there is no one way to be Jewish, and that yes, I am Jewish.
There are a few things in this world that are quite like Hillel, in that they provide quite literally unconditional love and support for the student body here at UC Davis. And what I mean by that is we're currently almost a year, surprisingly, into this pandemic, and I know that I can undeniably rely on Hillel and the Hillel staff for not only delicious food on Fridays, but just support throughout the days that I'm here. And so, every Friday I can go by and get myself a Shabbat bag and celebrate Shabbat with my roommates. And that really helps remind me what it means to be a supported Jewish student here. And I think that helps me be a stronger student. It helps me stay strong as now a former senator. But when I was a senator, it really helped me fight BDS, fight anti-Semitism, because I knew that I had that unconditional support and backing from the great staff and support at Hillel.
Hello, my name is Zachary Nelson, and I'm an alumni of UC Davis class of 2017. Hillel played an integral part in my college experience, and it positively influenced my life in more ways than I can tell you. Hillel was not just a home away from home for me, but it was a place where I forged true lifelong friendships, where I celebrated my Judaism and embraced my Zionism. It's where I was afforded the leadership opportunities that have made me into the leader I am today. It has inspired me to continually give back and stay involved with the Jewish world. Today, I am a board director of Jemena, Jews indigenous to the Middle East and North Africa, the Sephardic and Mizrahi heritage advocacy group. I am a resident of Moshe House, Silicon Valley, an organization dedicated to fostering and growing a young adult Jewish community worldwide, and the director of the Jewish high-tech community Young Adult Leadership Academy, focused on empowering and inspiring a future of young adult Jewish leaders. The spark started with Hillel, and I am so grateful for all of the opportunities that it has afforded me over the years. And that is why I give back monthly to ensure that Hillel can provide the same opportunity as provided me. And for that, I am very grateful to Hillel. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Danielle Younai. I'm a fourth-year student and the president of Aggies for Israel. Being a Jewish student here at UC Davis, and especially a Zionist one, can be extremely difficult. Having a community of peers who understand your identity is wonderful in itself, but at UC Davis, it's absolutely crucial. During my first week here in the dorms, I learned quickly that I shouldn't tell people I fast for Yom Kippur or that I went to Jewish day school. But coming from a family of proud Persian immigrants who escaped religious persecution in Iran, I was determined to show that same pride.
so I immediately sought out Hillel. What I expected to find was community, but Hillel has gone far beyond any of my expectations. Hillel constantly empowers me to fight for my heritage and gives me the tools to do so. When Aggies for Israel was fighting BDS twice in the span of a few months, Hillel was right there with us, connecting us to resources, helping us to write speeches, and talking us through our anger and frustration over the phone. When Jewish student leaders wanted to meet with university administration to express our concerns, Hillel not only made it happen, but coached us for weeks on how to effectively approach them. When neo-Nazi flyers were posted around campus, Hillel was there with open arms and warm food. Day or night, virtual or in person, Hillel has supported the Jewish community and served as a constant source of comfort for me personally. I'm grateful that even after I graduate, Hillel will be here, advocating for Jewish students and being their home away from home, just as it is mine.
This is David and Mikaela Miller, and we graduated from UC Davis in 2016.
So I'm in nursing school in Maryland right now, and David is in medical school in New York. So we're unfortunately not able to be physically together today, but we wanted to take a few minutes to talk to you about what a meaningful impact Hillel had on us during our college years and on our relationship together.
So Mikaela and I met the very first day that we moved into the dorms of UC Davis, and we instantly became friends. That very night, our first night of our entire 4 years of college, we actually got a noise violation from the RAs in our building.
And you want to know what we were talking about when we got the noise violation? We were actually standing next to a Hillel High Holy Days flyer and talking about High Holy Days services at Hillel.
And after several months of friendship, we began dating later that year, and Hillel played a huge role in our college years together. Every Tuesday, we went and had a delicious lunch at Hillel with all of our friends, and each Friday, we went to Shabbat together.
And after our junior year, we had the opportunity to join Hillel on a birthright trip to Israel, and we were able to experience Israel for the first time together. Throughout our 4 years at UC Davis, Hillel provided us with such a meaningful place to connect with our Judaism and with each other.
And after graduating, we moved in together and adopted our dog, Cooper.
Here he is.
And a year after graduating, I proposed to Mikaela.
We got married in December of 2018, and we had so many people on our wedding party and just guests at our wedding who we met through Hillel, and we just have so many friendships that we made at Hillel.
And Hillel has had such a lasting impact on us and our relationship, and we will always be grateful for that.
Thank you, Hillel.
Oh, man. I'm not crying. I'm not crying. Those are really great stories, folks. Thank you so much. Well, happy to announce that it's the moment you've all been waiting for. The Funda Need. Ah! Sorry. Without further ado, it's my honor and distinct pleasure to welcome Hillel Davis in Sacramento's Executive Director, my friend and mentor, Rachel Darling.
Thank you, Micah. The Funda Need for this year is the Norma and Larry Rappaport Programming Initiative. This initiative will provide the much-needed funding for kosher meals, holiday celebrations, Jewish and Israeli educational programs, and countless social, tzedek, and spiritual experiences for our students. In a moment, our board member, Luis Gonzalez, will begin the Funda Need. In order to make your meaningful gift, please use the chat function located at the bottom of your computer screen. Once you click on chat, a white box will appear with a space on the bottom that says type message here. Please type your first and last name and the amount you wish to donate and press enter. If you wish to make an anonymous gift, click the chat function, then click everyone, which is found above type message here, and select Rachel Darling. Then type in your information and press enter. This way your gift will remain anonymous. If you need any technical assistance with making your gift, please call our development intern, Alex Cohen, at 818-813-0039. He is available now. Following the program, you will receive an email from Hillel with payment information. Now it is my pleasure to turn it over to Louis for the Fund a Need.
Good evening, everybody. My name's Louis Gonzalez, and I'm thrilled to lead the Fund a Need this evening. From serving on Hillel's board for the past 5 years, I've seen firsthand what your dollars do to directly impact Jewish students in Davis and Sacramento. Today, we are here to honor Larry and Norma Rappaport's vision and dedication to Hillel and make sure their work endures. We know our students come to college ready to forge an identity that will shape out how they live their lives as Jewish adults. The Rappaports knew this and wanted to foster these students' Jewish connections. Shelley Schuster was one of these students, and as you heard in Shelley's toast earlier this evening, he was one of the first students in Larry and Norma's living room. Like so many of our students today, Shelley learned the value of empathy, community, and love from the time he spent being involved in Hillel. We are so honored to announce that Shelley and his wife, Dr. Sue Wessler, are kicking off our Fund a Need with a generous gift of $10,000. Thank you so much, Shelley and Sue. Please join Shelley and Sue by making a generous donation this evening by using the chat box at the bottom of your screen. The instructions on how to make your gift will also appear below. In a moment, I am going to begin by asking you if there's anyone willing to give $5,000 or more towards funding the Norma and Larry Rappaport Programming Initiative. As Rachel shared a few minutes ago, this initiative will provide much needed funding for kosher meals, holiday celebrations, and Jewish and Israeli educational programs. I'd like to welcome Rachel back on screen to continue the Fund a Need.
Thank you, Louis. We just received a pledge from Mike and Betsy Singer for $5,000 for the Norma and Larry Rappaport Programming Endowment Fund, which is held at the Jewish Community Foundation of the West. This fund was established by donors supporting Hillel's programming staff positions and to honor our founders, Larry and Norma Rappaport. Thank you so much, Mike and Betsy.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you, singers. Is there anyone else inspired to make a pledge of $5,000 or more? Let me tell you what $5,000 does for Hillel. You could sponsor our Jewish Learning Fellowship to bring 15 students through an 8-week conversational seminar for students to deepen their understanding of Judaism on their own terms. This year, Hillel launched its first Jewish Learning Fellowship cohort facilitated by Rabbi Taff and Rabbi Wolf. Thank you, rabbis. Is anyone else inspired to pledge $5,000 or more to support this work? Anyone? I know the chats, we're all doing this for the first time, so we will continue to move on. Feel free to donate at any time. One of the things I wanted to make sure everyone was aware of at this point is that 100% of our board of directors helped sponsor tonight's evening. I'd like to thank our board members for doing that. Now we'll be seeking gifts at progressively lower levels. We hope that everyone will participate at a level that feels meaningful to you. As you make pledges in the chat box, Rachel and I will do our best to recognize your pledge. And because holding a fundraiser online is new to all of us, we try to make it as simple as possible. When you want to make a gift, you need to do is put your name and an amount of your pledge in the chat box. If you encounter any difficulties in making your pledge, please call our development intern. His number appears below. See Alex going right there right now. So let's move on to $3,600. Is anyone inspired anyone inspired by the work that Larry and Norma have done to pledge $3,600 to Hillel this evening? Let me tell you what $3,600 supports at Hillel. It supports our annual Welcome Week programming. Each year, the Welcome Week programs are devoted to and are developed and organized by our wonderful engagement staff, Seth Browner and Tal Sendler, as well as our student interns. Events range from challah baking competitions to Israeli cooking classes. Is there anyone inspired to make a gift of $3,600? Anyone? Now's your chance.
I see our board member and past president of the board for Hillel, Alan Brodowski, and his wife Nancy Brodowski have pledged $3,600. Thank you so much, Alan and Nancy.
Thank you, Alan and Nancy. Moving on to $2,500. Is anyone inspired to make a pledge of $2,500 or more? Anyone?
Thank you so much to our current board president, Simone Naftulin, and her husband, Dr. Brian Naftulin, for their gift of $2,500. We're so appreciative.
I'd like to also thank Frank and Janie Comfort for their pledge of $2,500. Thank you very much. Anyone else at $2,500? If I pass it and we go to a lower level, feel free to keep adding. We're going to move to $2,000 to the $2,000 level. Is there anyone inspired or able to give at the $2,000 level? Anyone? Let me tell you what $2,000 does for the Hillel. Sorry, for Hillel's activities. So for $2,000, you can sponsor one of Hillel's new student clubs, such as the Russian-speaking club or the Israeli club. So if anyone wants to fund at $2,000, you can start a student club. Anyone want to do that?
Thank you so much to the Rappaport children and grandchildren for your gift of $2,125. You're making your parents very proud today, and grandparents.
Okay, we're just to keep this moving along, folks. You'll feel free to keep typing it in. I'm just going to move on. We're moving on to $1,800. Is anyone inspired to make a pledge at that level? At $1,800, you can sponsor our Yom Ha'atzmaut celebration. Each year, our student group, Aggies for Israel, and our Israel fellow, Tal Sendler, plan a vibrant, fun Yom Ha'atzmaut celebration. Is anyone interested or able to make a pledge at $1,800 or more to help underwrite this work?
Thank you so much, Judy and Steve Lewis. Steve is also a past president of our board. And thank you so much to Gail and Barry Klein. Barry is a current board member and vice president of our board. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you as well. Again, feel free to donate at any time. We're moving on to $1,000. Is anyone inspired to pledge $1,000 or more? At $1,000, you can sponsor upgrades to our facility inside and out to create more spaces for students to gather and study, including a wellness lounge that the students have specifically requested. Is anyone interested in helping or pledge at this level to make sure those upgrades are made for the students? Anyone?
Wow, thank you so much. So many gifts are coming through. I'm trying to keep up, but thank you so much first to Chancellor Gary May and his wife, Lesch May, for their gift of $1,000. Thank you so much to Ann and Hal Eisenberg for their gift of $1,800. And thank you so much to Joe Pedot and Carol Katz for their incredible gift of $5,000. Wow, thank you so much, Joe. Hope you're doing well in San Francisco. And thank you so much to Joy and Steve Cohen for their gift of $1,000. Thank you so much to my grandma, Cookie Addison, for her gift of $1,000. Love you, Grandma. And thank you so much to Roy Kaplan and Janet Saunders for their gift of $1,000. Roy is also a current board member. And thank you to Ken Firestein and Deanne Meyer for their gift of $1,800, as well as to Susan and Theo Goodwin for their gift of $1,000, and to Bob Ruxin as well for his gift of $1,000. Wow, so many gifts coming through. Thank you so much to our board member Cheryl and her husband Sydney Gutman for their gift of $1,000. Thank you so much to our board member Mark Schenker and his wife Sochi for their gift of $1,000. And thank you so much, Marjorie Kaplan, for your gift of $1,000. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And oh, thank you so much to Jody and Eric Liederman for their gift of $1,000. Jody served on our development committee and played a huge role in bringing this event together.
Wow, this is great. Thank you, everybody. Let's keep this up. Let's honor Larry and Norma for the work they've done and make sure this continues.
Speaking of Larry and Norma, also I saw earlier a gift from Larry and Norma Rappaport, our founders, for $1,000. Thank you so much, Larry and Norma.
We're going to move on to the $800 level. Anyone able or willing to make a pledge at that level? Let me tell you what $800 does at Hillel. At Hillel, you can sponsor Shabbat program and meal for our students. Even though COVID-19 has forced changes, every week Hillel is still hosting engaging virtual Shabbat programs and providing free Shabbat to-go bags for the students to celebrate Shabbat safely in their dorm rooms or apartments. The Shabbat bags include a delicious kosher meal made by our chef, Christopher Brown, as well as Shabbat candles, challah, grape juice, and table blessings. Is anyone interested in making a pledge at $800 or more? Who's inspired to fund a Shabbat dinner program for $800? There are many Shabbat dinners to fund over the course of the school year. We can certainly use your help.
Thank you so much to another past president of Hillel and current board member, Steve Cronick, and his wife, Barbara, for their gift of $800, as well as another board member, Tammy, and her husband, Jeffrey Rabowski, for their gift of $900, and Betty Belasky as well for your gift of $800. Thank you so much.
Hey, folks, we're trying to honor everyone's time and move this thing forward, so feel free to keep typing. We have plenty of Shabbats to fill, so I'm gonna keep moving on to the next level. We are gonna move on to $500. Is anyone inspired to make a gift of $500? Of course, I'm gonna tell you what $500 does at Hillel. You could sponsor the Tuesday lunches that Hillel provides to our students for free. Again, although we cannot gather in person due to COVID, our students are still able to pick up free Tuesday lunches from Hillel and participate in programs virtually. Our program director, Seth Browner, had a great idea to co-host Tuesday lunches with other Hillels around the world. This year, we hosted Tuesday lunches with Hillels in Hungary, Germany, Warsaw, Krakow, and other interesting locations. Making the best of COVID. Is anyone else interested in making a pledge of $500 or more to be able to fund the Tuesday lunch programs?
Thank you so much to our board member, Steve Organ, and his wife Jane, for their gift of $500, as well as Wendy and Mark Zlotlow, Daniel Kazum, Lisa and Jonathan Breslau, David and Sandy Loeffler, Stan and Marion Leff, Terry Friedman, who's also our immediate past co-president of the board, and her husband, Mark Urban. And thank you so much to Shirley and Skip Rosenblum for your gift of $500. Thank you all so, so much.
Okay, we're moving on to $360. Is anyone inspired to make a pledge at that level? With $360, you can sponsor our annual Purim event. This year, our incredible student board is hosting a virtual Purim escape room, complete with prizes and a costume contest. I don't know how they're going to do that, but creative. Is anyone interested in making a pledge at $360 or more so we can fund that event this year?
It looks like we went back up another level. Thank you so much to Shira, who's also past president of our board and current board member, current treasurer, Shira and her husband, Don Gilbert, for their gift of $500. And thank you so much to our board member, Robbie Holland, and his wife, Kim Connor, for their gift of $360. And thank you so much, Kathy, my mother-in-law, for your gift of $360, as well as Bill and Wendy Hoffman Blink for your gift of $360. Wendy is also the co-chair of this benefit and has been amazing. And thank you, wow, to Donna. I apologize if I mispronounced your last name, Peter and Dennis Stein, for your gift of $500. Thank you so, so much. Oh, and thank you to my mom for your gift of $500. Thank you so much, Mom. And thank you, Robert and Heidi Smith, for your gift of $360, as well as another immediate past co-president of our board, Denny Mador, for your gift of $360. And Russell, my husband, thank you so much for your gift of $360.
Well, we'd love the support. Let me move on to $250. If there's anyone that's able to make a gift at that level, at $250, you can sponsor coffee dates for up to 50 students to inspire meaningful Jewish conversations with new students for the whole year. Each quarter, Hillel's programming staff and intern invite new or uninvolved students to virtual or socially distanced coffees to inspire the next generation of student leaders. Is anyone able to make a pledge at $250 or more and help fund this work for us?
All right, lots of more gifts coming through. Thank you so much to our board member, Karen Soskin, for your gift of $360. Thank you so much to my wonderful aunt, Alana Addison, for your gift of $250. And thank you also to Amy and Dan Abramson, Mike and Holly Fawn, also for your gifts of $250. We're so appreciative. Thank you, thank you.
Right. Looks like the Bergmans also made a gift of $1,800. Thank you very much for that. Okay, $180. Can someone, or if, for those of you who are able to, can you please make a gift at this level? Let me tell you what $180 is able to do for Hillel. At $180, you can sponsor a bagel brunch for our students. Remember, Norma and Larry started Hillel in their living room with Sunday bagel brunches over 55 years ago. Let's make sure we carry on that tradition. Who's inspired to fund a bagel brunch? Who will be able to make a pledge for $180?
Thank you so much to Cartwright for your gift of $180. Thank you so much to the CEO of the Jewish Federation, Willie Recht, for your gift of $180. And as well to Veronica Kaufman for your gift of $250. Aviva Paley also for $250. Jane and Ed Rabin, as well as Robin Weiner for each of your gifts of $250. Thank you so much. We're really appreciative.
Okay, so everybody, we're kind of getting close on our time here, and it was our plan to be able to go down all the way to high to 18. I'd like to combine some of these. So I'm going to tell you what those categories will give, and this will be the last ask. So at $100, we're providing swag to the Hillel students. What's swag? Swag is t-shirts, stickers, water bottles, bike lights. Help us shower our Hillel students with Hillel swag so they can proudly spread the word around campus. Likewise, we also have at $36, we can sponsor the Jewish holiday giveaways. For example, for Tu Shabbat, we provide succulent plants to every student with a gift bag or their Shabbat to go bags. And at the $18 level, we're sponsoring gift bags for the students that are regularly given as prizes for various events. For example, the most original Purim costume, or who found the virtual Afikomen. So if who's able to give, who's willing to give and support the Rappaport's legacy here and support our Hillel.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Greg Wolf, for your gift of $360 in honor of Larry and Norma. Thank you so much to one of my close family friends, Stacy Weiss, for your gift of $150. Thank you so much to my twin sister, Nicole, for your gift of $100. And thank you so much to my older brother, Michael, and my sister-in-law, Maddie, for your gift of $100. And thank you so much to Carol Lowe for your gift of $250. Thank you so much, everyone, for your generosity.
Right. I know you guys are all typing up there, so thank you so much. This brings us to the end of our Fund a Need. Please know that every gift that's been made is deeply appreciated, and we hope you feel elevated by your generosity towards Hillel. We certainly are, and thank you very much.
And I would just like to echo Lewis and say thank you on behalf of the staff, board of directors, and students we serve for celebrating Hillel's 56th anniversary and honoring Norma and Larry Rappaport. We are forever grateful and inspired by your vision, dedication, and generosity. Following the program, you will all receive an email from Hillel with payment information on how to fulfill your pledge. And we just want to say thank you so, so much. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your evening. L'chaim.
L'chaim.